Have you ever walked into your home and felt overwhelmed by the sheer amount of stuff around you? Do you find yourself searching for peace in a space that feels more chaotic than calming? If you're over 60, you're not alone. Clutter sneaks up on us over the years, turning our homes into stress-filled spaces instead of the sanctuaries they should be. But what if I told you that with just a few simple changes, you could completely transform your home and your mindset? In this video, we're diving into 16 surprising clutter culprits that could be stealing your space, your peace, and even your joy. You'll discover how invisible messes, sentimental items, and even outdated decor could be holding you back from the calm and organized home you deserve. And here's the kicker. Some of the biggest clutter problems might be right in front of you, and you don't even notice them. Stick around until the end because we're not just pointing out the clutter. We're giving you practical tips and simple solutions that anyone can use, no matter how overwhelming your home feels right now. Plus, you'll hear the inspiring story of Mary, a 65-year-old grandmother who turned her cluttered maze of a house into a peaceful retreat, and how you can do the same. If you've ever felt like your home is working against you instead of for you, this video is your guide to reclaiming your space and simplifying your life. Ready to transform your home into the sanctuary you deserve? Let's get started. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Paperwork piles. It's astonishing how quickly paperwork can take over our lives, isn't it? Old bills, magazines you swore you'd read later, receipts from long-forgotten purchases, and random documents you thought might prove useful someday. These things tend to accumulate almost without notice. We tell ourselves, I might need this later, or even worse, we put it off because we're overwhelmed by the sheer volume of it. Before we know it, these seemingly harmless stacks of paper are dominating our countertops, burying our desks, and stuffing our drawers to the point of frustration. I've been there myself, staring at a mountain of paper clutter, feeling both annoyed at the mess and guilty for letting it get so out of hand. What's worse is how these piles quietly sap your mental energy every time you see them. It's like they're whispering, "You're behind. You're disorganized. You'll never catch up." It's a small but persistent weight on your shoulders, one that can make your home feel chaotic instead of the peaceful haven it should be. The good news is that breaking free of the paper trap is possible, and it feels incredibly liberating. One of the best changes I made was switching to digital billing and opting out of paper statements whenever possible. It's a simple step, but it cuts down the incoming paper flow dramatically. For the documents you absolutely must keep, like medical records, warranties, or tax papers, designating a single drawer, file box, or folder for them can make a world of difference. I use labeled folders so I know exactly where everything is, which saves me from those panicked searches for an important piece of paper. But here's the real secret. You have to stay on top of it. Make it a habit to review these papers at least once a month. Set a reminder, pour yourself a cup of tea, and tackle it bit by bit. Trust me, there's a sense of accomplishment that comes from clearing out that clutter. It's like you're reclaiming not just your physical space but your peace of mind too. If I could go back and tell my younger self one thing, it would be this: don't let paperwork rule your life. Simplify, streamline, and let go. Because in the grand scheme of things, the freedom from clutter, both physical and mental, is worth so much more than holding on to that crumpled receipt from 3 years ago. 2. Unused gifts. Do you find yourself holding onto items like a delicate vase gifted by a friend or a pristine set of wine glasses you've never used, all because letting them go feels like betraying the person who gave them to you? It's a weight many of us carry. A sense of obligation to objects that no longer serve us but occupy precious space in our homes and, more importantly, in our hearts. These items, though well-intentioned, often represent emotional clutter. They sit there, gathering dust, whispering guilt every time you glance their way. But ask yourself, does keeping them truly honor the person who gave them to you? Or does it only hold you back from creating a space that feels light, free, and truly yours? Letting go doesn't mean disrespect or ingratitude. It can be an act of love and practicality. By donating or regifting those unused treasures, you're giving someone else the chance to cherish them in a way you couldn't. Imagine the joy of someone discovering that vase and placing it proudly in their home, or toasting life's milestones with those wine glasses. It's a beautiful way to ensure the gift lives on meaningfully, even if it's no longer part of your story. I've struggled with this too. There's a bittersweet ache in parting with something tied to a memory, but the liberation that follows is priceless. It's like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. You realize that memories don't live in objects. They live in your heart and the relationships that matter most. So take that step. Declutter not just your home, but your mind and spirit. You'll gain not just physical breathing room, but emotional freedom, a space to welcome what truly adds joy and meaning to your life. 3. Expired medications. Have you ever opened your medicine cabinet and come across half-used bottles of pills or old prescriptions you barely remember taking? It's surprisingly easy for expired medications to accumulate, quietly tucked away behind newer ones. Yet, keeping these around can be more dangerous than we realize. Medications past their expiration date lose effectiveness and, in some cases, can even become harmful. That's why it's crucial to take a few minutes to check every bottle, packet, or blister pack and let go of what's no longer safe. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The thought of discarding medication can feel like a waste, especially if it's something you spent money on. But think about the potential harm: an accidental overdose, taking the wrong pill in a moment of confusion, or a curious grandchild finding them. It's simply not worth the risk. Instead, safely dispose of these expired items. Many pharmacies or healthcare facilities offer convenient drop-off points for unused medication, ensuring it's handled properly and doesn't end up polluting the environment. Beyond the practical safety reasons, clearing out expired medications can be unexpectedly freeing. There's something deeply satisfying about reclaiming that space, knowing it's no longer filled with clutter or potential hazards. In a way, it feels like letting go of something outdated that no longer serves you, like a small act of self-care for your home and your peace of mind. So, why wait? Take that step today, and you'll feel lighter, safer, and more in control of your health and well-being. 4. Plastic containers without lids. Plastic containers without lids are the epitome of kitchen chaos, a silent but constant reminder of clutter and disorganization. Every time you open the cabinet, those mismatched containers stare back at you, making meal prep feel like a scavenger hunt. Let's face it, a container without its lid is as good as useless, no matter how sturdy or well-designed it might be. Take a deep breath, open that cabinet, and confront the mess. Keep only the matching sets that are in good condition, the ones you use and trust. Imagine the satisfaction of opening a cabinet and seeing neatly stacked, organized containers, each ready to serve its purpose. Doesn't that feel free? The rest, unfortunately, must go. Recycle responsibly or discard what can't be salvaged. I know it's tempting to hold on to the just-in-case items, but ask yourself, how often do you need a lidless container? Streamlining this one small area of your kitchen can be surprisingly liberating. It clears not only physical space but mental space too, giving you one less thing to stress about in your daily life. Trust me, a few well-organized sets of containers are far more valuable than a cabinet overflowing with mismatched chaos. Decluttering is more than a task. It's a gift of simplicity to yourself. So go ahead, take the plunge, and embrace the calm that comes with an orderly kitchen. 5. Duplicates of household items. Have you ever opened a drawer and been overwhelmed by the sight of 6 pairs of scissors, for spatulas you barely touch, or an endless sea of pens that seem to multiply on their own. It's a surprisingly common scenario, yet it carries a quiet emotional weight. These duplicates, though seemingly harmless, often represent more than just excess. They reflect habits of holding on just in case or the fear of letting go. But ask yourself, how many pairs of scissors do you truly use? Do you need 4 spatulas when 1 or 2 are more than sufficient? Take a moment to assess these duplicates. Consider their purpose in your life. Items we don't use regularly become invisible clutter, silently stealing precious space and peace of mind. Imagine opening a drawer that feels purposeful and light, not weighed down by things you'll never touch. It's liberating to let go of the extras, to donate what could be helpful to someone else, and to recycle what has outlived its usefulness. I felt the resistance to parting with these items, a small voice whispering, "But what if you need it someday?" That someday rarely comes. What I've learned is that decluttering isn't just about creating a tidier home. It's about creating a clearer mind. Holding on to too much can feel suffocating, as if the physical clutter mirrors an emotional one. By choosing to keep only what we use and love, we're permitting ourselves to live more intentionally, with space for what truly matters. So, take this as an opportunity to simplify, to breathe easier, and to embrace the joy of enough. Fewer scissors, fewer spatulas, and fewer pens mean fewer distractions and a greater sense of calm in your everyday life. You deserve that serenity. 6. Hobby supplies. Hobbies are a beautiful expression of our creativity, passion, and joy, but over time, our interests may shift, leaving behind remnants of these cherished pursuits, unused yarns, paints, tools, or other supplies that once sparked excitement. Instead of letting these items sit idly, gathering dust and fading into forgotten corners, why not give them a second life? Imagine the joy they could bring to someone else, a budding artist, a crafty child, or an elderly individual rediscovering the happiness of creation. Donating these items to crafting groups, schools, or charitable organizations not only declutters your space but also carries forward the spirit of giving and sharing. It's a way to pass on the magic you once felt, enabling others to experience the same spark of inspiration. I've found it deeply heartwarming to see tools and materials I no longer need transform into someone else's masterpiece or newfound hobby. There's something profoundly satisfying about knowing that your once-loved supplies are bringing smiles and creativity into the world. Holding on to these items out of nostalgia is understandable. We attach memories to the things we create. But sometimes, releasing them can feel liberating, like letting go of a chapter to make room for new experiences. So, instead of letting those supplies stay buried in storage, consider giving them a chance to ignite someone else's passion. It's a gesture that not only lightens your load but enriches the lives of others, a small act with a big emotional ripple. 7. Outdated tech gadgets. Is your drawer overflowing with old phones, tangled cables, and outdated remotes? These forgotten items, once essential, now gather dust, taking up space both physically and mentally. It's time to let go. Recycling and used tech at local e-waste centers not only declutters your home, but also makes a meaningful contribution to the environment. Imagine the relief of opening a drawer and finding only what you truly need. No more rummaging through a chaotic mess. Personally, holding on to these items often feels like holding on to the past, a past that no longer serves us. Each piece represents an opportunity to move forward, to simplify, and to live more intentionally. Letting go might feel like parting with memories, but it's also an act of liberation. By keeping only the gadgets you actively use, you create space, not just in your home, but in your life, for what truly matters. Let this be a reminder. Every small step toward a simpler life brings you closer to peace and clarity. 8. Sentimental keepsakes. Sentimental keepsakes, like photo albums, trophies, and souvenirs, often accumulate faster than we realize, turning once precious memories into an overwhelming sea of clutter. These objects, while meaningful, can quietly consume our living spaces, leaving us feeling weighed down rather than uplifted. It's important to remember that memories don't truly live in the items themselves. They reside in our hearts, where they are safe, sacred, and always accessible. To create a sense of harmony in your home, consider digitizing those beloved photographs. Scanning images not only preserves them for future generations, but also allows you to revisit these moments at the touch of a button, without the risk of losing them to time or decay. For those special treasures you can't bear to part with, crafting a small scrapbook can offer a tangible way to relive the joy, laughter, and love tied to those mementos, without letting them take over every corner of your space. Decluttering sentimental items is no easy task. It might feel like letting go of a piece of your history, but it's an opportunity to reflect deeply on what truly matters. Keep the items that spark the most profound joy, and trust that the essence of your memories remains with you, even if the physical reminders don't. In freeing up your shelves, you're also freeing your heart to create new memories, unburdened by the past. I've personally found this process liberating, though not without its bittersweet moments. As I sorted through keepsakes from my younger years, I realized how much energy I had tied to objects rather than experiences. Letting go of the excess was like rediscovering the beauty of living in the now. The memories didn't vanish. They simply felt lighter, more accessible, and infinitely more meaningful. Your keepsakes should complement your life, not clutter it. Trust in the power of your heart to hold on to what matters most. After all, our most precious moments were never meant to gather dust. They were meant to inspire us to keep creating, living, and loving every day. 9. Clothes you no longer wear. We all have that one closet, the one that's bursting at the seams with clothes we no longer wear. Clothes that no longer fit our bodies or our lives, yet they remain there, taking up space, holding on to memories of who we once were. It's easy to hang on to these items, thinking they represent something of the past that we don't want to let go of. But in truth, they often do more harm than good, creating clutter that weighs us down both physically and mentally. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. If your closet is full of pieces you haven't worn in over a year, it might be time to take a hard look at each item. Sure, some of them may hold sentimental value. Perhaps they remind you of a special occasion or a moment in time that feels too precious to part with. It's perfectly okay to keep 1 or 2 pieces that hold a deep personal significance. Those items can be cherished, not for their use, but as tokens of the memories they carry. But for the rest, the clothes that no longer fit or simply don't serve you, it's time to let go. Donate them to someone who will appreciate them, who might wear them with joy. There's something so freeing about passing along what no longer serves you to someone else who can benefit from it. It feels like shedding the weight of the past, making space for the new, for the present moment, for the person you are now. We hold on to things out of fear, out of nostalgia, or simply because we feel guilty letting go. Yet, when we allow ourselves to release what no longer fits, we make room for a future that feels lighter and more authentic. You deserve to live in a space that reflects who you are today, not who you were yesterday. Let go of the clothes, the memories, and the past, and embrace the freedom that comes with embracing the now. Life is too short to keep holding on to things that no longer bring you joy. Let them go and make space for the beautiful future ahead. 10. Expired pantry items. Over time, our pantries can become a graveyard for forgotten items. Spices that have lost their flavor, cans that have sat gathering dust, or baking supplies that have long passed their prime, they all find their way into the corners of our shelves. It's easy to overlook these things, especially when life gets busy, and we're simply trying to manage day-to-day tasks. But the truth is, those expired pantry items can not only affect the quality of the food we prepare, but also prevent us from truly enjoying the nourishment we deserve. It's important to make a habit of checking expiration dates annually, and, when necessary, tossing out those outdated items. Letting go of things that no longer serve us, even if they're as small as a jar of expired cinnamon, feels like a small but profound act of renewal. A well-organized pantry isn't just about tidiness. It's a reflection of how we care for ourselves and our homes. When the shelves are clear, it's easier to find what we need, make better decisions, and cook with ingredients that are fresh and reliable. More than that, it's a reminder that we deserve the best and that we can create spaces in our lives that reflect abundance and nourishment. And by taking this small step, we're embracing the idea of fresh starts, even in the most mundane areas of life. A clean, organized pantry isn't just about food. It's a reflection of how we choose to care for ourselves in the long term. 11. Broken or fix-it-later items. We all have those broken or fix-it-later items tucked away in corners, lingering in our homes like forgotten memories. It could be a chair that wobbles just a little too much, an old clock that hasn't ticked in years, or a small appliance that hasn't worked since that one stormy night. Over time, these things seem to pile up, often without us even noticing, becoming a silent source of frustration and guilt. We promise ourselves that we'll get to them soon, but as days turn into weeks and weeks into months, they sit there, waiting for our attention, and yet, we never quite get around to fixing them. But here's the truth. If it's been a month or more and you haven't found the time or energy to repair it, then maybe it's time to seriously think about letting it go. Holding on to broken items is more than just a matter of clutter. It's a form of emotional attachment to something that no longer serves us. They remind us of failed promises to ourselves, and the longer we keep them, the heavier they feel, like an invisible weight pulling us down. In my own experience, I've realized that holding on to these things isn't about saving money or time. It's about holding on to the past and the hope that someday we'll fix things that, in truth, may no longer have any place in our lives. Sometimes, it's freeing to just release them, to create space in our homes and our hearts. Letting go of broken things isn't a sign of failure. It's an act of courage, a small but significant step toward embracing change and moving forward. 12. Oversized or outdated furniture. Oversized or outdated furniture can weigh down a room, turning what should be a peaceful sanctuary into a cluttered, oppressive space. It's amazing how something as simple as a bulky couch or an old, worn-out table can make a room feel small, suffocating, and even outdated. I've often found that when you have too many large pieces of furniture, it doesn't just make the room look cramped, it also disrupts the flow of energy in your home. It's as though the space is fighting to breathe. I know from personal experience that the moment I swapped out some heavy furniture for lighter, more versatile pieces, the entire room transformed. Suddenly, there was room to breathe, move, and live. Instead of squeezing in items that take up too much space, try thinking about how you can make the most of every square inch. Multipurpose furniture, like a fold-out desk or a storage ottoman, allows you to reclaim space without sacrificing style or function. It makes such a difference in how you feel in the room. It's almost like giving your home a fresh start, a chance to embrace a lighter, more functional way of living. The change can be incredibly freeing, and it helps foster a sense of calm and order that allows you to truly relax. Whether you're downsizing, transitioning to a new phase of life, or simply looking for a change, this simple shift can create a lasting sense of openness and renewal in your home. 13. Outdated home decor. Outdated home decor can often make your space feel trapped in the past, as though it's still stuck in a time that no longer reflects who you are today. Faux plants, which once seemed like a practical solution, can now feel artificial and lifeless. The heavy drapes, with their thick, dark fabrics, might remind you of an era long gone, casting a somber, outdated atmosphere over the room. Floral rugs, once charming, might now seem out of place and tired, with their bold, dated patterns. When you look around your home, it should feel like a reflection of you, where your style, personality, and tastes are expressed in every corner. Opting for simpler, modern pieces not only breathes new life into your space, but also allows you to create a sanctuary that mirrors your current self. It's about choosing decor that makes you feel comfortable, happy, and aligned with the person you are now. Let go of the things that weigh down the atmosphere, like those outdated florals or heavy curtains that no longer serve a purpose, and instead fill your home with lighter, more vibrant pieces that bring you joy every time you walk into a room. Your home should be a place that welcomes you, where you can feel the freedom to grow and evolve. And modern, clean decor helps create that inviting space where you truly belong. 14. Overwhelming collections. Overwhelming collections can quickly shift from a source of joy to a heavy burden. The excitement of acquiring each new piece fades as the sheer volume of items begins to overwhelm your space and your mind. Large figurine collections, in particular, may start as an innocent hobby, something that once sparked joy with every addition. But as the collection grows, so does the clutter, and suddenly it feels less like a collection and more like a never-ending task. Instead of basking in the beauty of your favorite figurines, you may find yourself constantly dusting them off, worrying about where to store the overflow, and wondering if it's all worth it. To truly reclaim the joy these objects once brought, it's important to take a step back and reflect. Display a few of your most cherished pieces, the ones that hold sentimental value or evoke precious memories, and let them shine in your home. As for the rest, don't be afraid to let go. Sell, donate, or store the items that no longer bring you happiness or that simply feel like they're taking up space. A thoughtfully curated collection, one that is meaningful and manageable, will bring much more satisfaction than a sprawling assortment that leaves you feeling overwhelmed. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. In my own experience, I've learned that it's not the quantity of items that makes a collection special. It's the quality and the memories tied to each piece. A small, curated display can bring warmth to a room and peace to the heart, while a cluttered corner can make you feel like you're trapped in a cycle of acquisition and maintenance. Letting go of the unnecessary can be incredibly liberating, and you'll find that you can truly enjoy the treasures that matter most. 15. Forgotten items in hidden spaces. Basements, attics, and garages, those often overlooked spaces in our homes, tend to become catch-alls for all the things we no longer use but struggle to part with. Over the years, we stash away old toys, dusty furniture, and decorations that once held sentimental value but now just take up space. It's easy to let these forgotten items pile up, almost as if we're too afraid to face the emotional weight of decluttering. However, there's something deeply freeing about taking a step toward clearing out these areas, one small section at a time. By focusing on one corner or box at a time, you can slowly release the hold these possessions have on you. It may be difficult to let go of some things. After all, these items often carry memories of a different time in our lives. But each item you release is a small act of reclaiming space, not just in your home, but also in your heart. It's an opportunity to reflect on what truly brings you joy now and to say goodbye to what no longer serves you. This process, though emotional at times, can be incredibly liberating, allowing you to create a home that feels lighter, more intentional, and more aligned with who you are today. 16. Everyday clutter, just in case stashes. We all have that one drawer, that one shelf, or maybe even an entire closet where we toss things, just in case. These random items, often cluttering our homes, are meant to be kept for future use. Yet somehow, they sit untouched for months, or even years. At first, it feels comforting to hold on to them. Perhaps we're convinced that one day, we'll need that extra pen, that old piece of fabric, or the stack of receipts we can't bear to part with. But in truth, these items just take up space and mental energy. They weigh us down, filling our homes with the illusion of usefulness, but they don't serve any real purpose. In reality, holding on to things, just in case, can keep us stuck in a mindset of scarcity and fear, as if we're afraid of losing the possibility of future opportunities or regrets. But the truth is, most of these things are only keeping us from creating a space where we can truly breathe, reflect, and move forward. It's time to take a deep breath, and with an open heart, go through those hidden stashes. Take a moment to reflect on what truly holds value in your life and what no longer serves you. That receipt from 5 years ago? It's okay to let it go. The random gadgets and mismatched items that never quite fit? They've outlived their purpose. Donating, recycling, or discarding them isn't just about decluttering your physical space. It's about releasing the emotional baggage they carry. You deserve a home that feels light, filled only with things that enhance your life, not weigh it down. It's liberating to let go of the unnecessary, freeing up both your living space and your emotional energy for what truly matters. So, with a sense of empowerment and self-love, let go of the just-in-case items, and make room for new memories, new experiences, and the life you truly want to live. As we wrap up today's discussion, take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned. It's incredible how small changes in our daily habits, like letting go of unnecessary clutter, can have such a profound impact on our lives. I hope this video has inspired you to think about what you truly need and what you can release to make more space for what matters. So, what's one thing you've learned today that you're going to bring into your life? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please comment below and share with us how you plan to make a positive change. Let's inspire each other to live lighter, more intentional lives. If you like this video, don't forget to leave your comment, hit that thumbs up button, and share it with someone who might benefit from it. And of course, if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.